Hello and thanks for joining us for our late night newscast here on Arirang TV. I'm Mark Broom. Our top story tonight, the 31st modern Olympics have opened in Rio with a spectacular ceremony at the city's world-famous Maracana Stadium. Around 10,000 athletes from more than 200 countries paraded before the very enthusiastic crowd. Shin Se-min filed this report from Rio.
Bringing the world together. Under the umbrella of sports, the curtain to the 2016 Rio Olympics parted on Friday evening at the Maracana Stadium. Sportsmen and women from around the globe marched through the stadium to watch a grand fireworks display that lit up the sky. Leading up to the opening ceremony, excitement had been building among the international visitors, filling the streets and corners of Rio.
We just couldn't find any tickets together, so we just thought we can't get tickets, might as well be out here, just to be around the atmosphere and celebrate Team USA.
My father attended the Olympic Games in Berlin in '36, so it's in a way an honor. And he himself, like myself, was a citizen of the world. We are not a flag of Brazil, a flag of Germany, or from America, or from Korea, but I think we all are citizens of the world, and that's how I like to see myself.
Preparations for the ceremony meant the Rio City government closed off almost 40 streets around the Maracana Stadium for nearly a full day on Friday. With visitors from around the world, including high-ranking officials and leaders in Rio for the curtain raiser, additional security forces were deployed, tripling the number of safety personnel. Marking the official start of the Games, the Olympic torch arrived at its final destination to ignite the cauldron. With citizens from all corners of the world bonding through the Rio Olympics, audience members and sports enthusiasts now hope that one of the largest international sporting events go through smoothly, bringing sound results for all. Shin Se-min, Arirang News, Rio de Janeiro.
Thanks for joining us, bringing the latest and what's to come from the Rio Olympics. I'm Shin. Looks like Team Korea's off to a great start, proving the nation's unbeatable spirit in the field. One of the country's male archers has smashed the world record in a game event. Scoring 700, 24-year-old Kim Woo-jin set the new record in the 72-arrow ranking round, while two other Korean male archers claimed 6th and 12th at the round. With 669 points, Choi Mi-sun also finished at number 1 in women's archery, followed by Jang Hae-jin and Kim Bo-bae claiming 2nd and 3rd. The men's team quarterfinals will be held on Saturday, and South Korea, the nation with most number of medals, including 19 golds in the field, is expected to sweep medals again at Rio in men's and women's archery. Returning from 18-month doping suspension to attend his 4th Olympics, Korean swimmer Park Tae-hwan is set to compete in 4 freestyle events at the Aquatic Stadium, starting with the 400-meter competition on Saturday. The 26-year-old was the first Asian swimmer to grab a gold medal in the Beijing Olympics 8 years ago, but many project the chance of him standing on the podium this year to be rather slim. While Park is ranked 6th, China's prodigy Sun Yang, the 2012 gold medalist, whom Park will be racing against in the 400 freestyle, has the 2nd fastest record for this year. And moving on to what's coming up next, in around half an hour, the final match for women's 10-meter air rifle will be held, followed by the semifinals of men's judo and women's individual fencing match on Saturday. Also, make sure to look out for the men's swimming competition scheduled for 1 p.m. local time. That's 1 a.m. in the morning on Sunday for viewers in Korea. Then the quarterfinals and the finals will be held back-to-back for men's archery, and hopes are high Korea could claim its first medals and make a golden start to the Rio Olympics.
Well, good luck to all the Korean athletes competing in Saturday's action at the Rio Olympics. Now, in the rest of the day's news, controversy is brewing Over an upcoming visit to China by 6 young lawmakers from South Korea's main opposition Minju Party of Korea. During their 3-day visit next week, the lawmakers plan to meet with Chinese experts and South Korean journalists based in China for talks on Seoul's decision to deploy the US missile defense system known as THAAD to South Korean soil. The ruling Senator Party spokesman on Saturday slammed the opposition lawmakers' move, saying it was a shame to South Korea's politics. The spokesman also urged them to cancel the trip. China is deeply opposed to the THAAD deployment, saying it will hurt its strategic security interests. Korea has kicked off talks with 10 ASEAN member states to deepen their free trade agreement within the regional bloc. Seoul's Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy said Saturday that the negotiations were made official during a Korea and ASEAN finance ministers meeting earlier this week in Laos. During that meeting, Korea's trade minister proposed new cooperative projects that can enhance ties between Korea and ASEAN countries. The joint projects include developing an eco-friendly town within ASEAN by utilising renewable energy like solar cells. Angola has reportedly submitted its plan on how to implement sanctions on North Korea in line with the UN Security Council's push to punish Pyongyang for its nuclear missile provocations. US-based Radio Free Asia says Angola has banned exports of aircraft fuel and mineral products to the north. Angola has also told the UN that it has stepped up inspection of freight planes and ships moving in and out of North Korea. The African country has maintained close ties with North Korea for more than 4 decades. UN member nations have been asked to submit their reports on sanctions in the wake of Pyongyang's 4th nuclear test in January and long-range missile launch the following month. UNICEF has slashed its budget for medical assistance and childcare projects in North Korea. Voice of America reports that the UN agency has set aside $71 million for North Korea-related projects during the 2017 to 2021 period, and that is down sharply from the more than $120 million that was spent between 2011 and 2015. The report says the budget was nearly halved because of the tough international sanctions on North Korea for its nuclear and missile provocations. The United States is set to slap anti-dumping duties on steel imported from a handful of countries, and that includes South Korea. The nation's steel giant POSCO could be hit especially hard. Wang Jie with the details.
The U.S. Commerce Department on Friday decided to impose anti-dumping duties on hot-rolled flat steel from 7 countries, including Korea and Japan. With that, the U.S. would lock in import taxes of 3.7% to around 35% for 5 years. Korea's steel giant, POSCO, is expected to take the biggest hit, as the department also slapped anti-subsidy duties of 57% on the company. The same duty set for most other steelmakers in Brazil, Turkey, and even a different steelmaker in Korea, Hyundai Steel, range between 4% and 11%. Still, the U.S. move to protect its own steel industry is not a done deal, as the country's International Trade Commission could overturn it. The commission is due to make a decision by late September on whether steel imports have damaged local producers. Hot-rolled steel products are mainly used in construction fields, automobiles, and heavy machinery, and the largest share of U.S. imports come from Korea. American steelmakers argue that prices are plunging below cost due to a global supply glut, and that foreign steelmakers are dumping products to the U.S., which is the only market generating stable demand. Korean steelmakers, on the other hand, say the lower prices are prompted by low oil prices. POSCO says it's considering all options, including filing a petition to the World Trade Organization. Hwang Jie, Arirang News.
Now, pre-orders for Samsung's Galaxy Note 7 have begun here in Korea. The nation's 3 mobile carriers, SK Telecom, KT and LG U+, say customers can pre-order the smartphone on their websites or at retail stores. The Note 7 is due to be released later this month. The 64-gigabyte version is priced at around $880 in Korea. This new device boasts a clearer display, state-of-the-art security features and waterproofing. Industry analysts say they expect the Note 7 to sell better than its predecessors. Now, do scary movies cool you down when the weather gets too hot like it is in Korea at the moment? Many people here in Korea watch horror movies when it's hot outside because it gives them the shivers and helps them stay cool. But does watching scary movies really help lower our body temperature, or is it just all a myth? Kim Mo-gyun finds out.
In summertime, it's usually not difficult to find horror movies at the cinema or on our TV screens. The reason that people watch horror movies when the temperature rises is so they can scare themselves cold.
I get really scared of horror movies, but I think I keep watching them especially when it's hot because it makes me feel cooler.
Because of the sound and the visuals, it definitely sends chills down my spine.
When you watch scary movies with ghosts or zombies, we often say we feel shivers or that we get goosebumps. But is this fear factor really affecting our body temperature? Or is it just a feeling? To find out, researchers held an experiment by checking a person's body temperature every 10 minutes as he watched a horror movie. 20 minutes after the movie began, the temperature of his chest and his palms dropped by 1.3 and 1.7 degrees respectively. As we get scared while watching horror movies, our sympathetic nerve gets stimulated and shrinks our blood vessels. This disturbs the circulation of warm blood and lowers our body temperature.
The feeling of shivering and having goosebumps when we watch horror movies is similar to our body's reaction when we feel cold.
This might explain why some people like watching horror movies during summertime. With the results of this latest experiment, we can expect the trend of watching horror movies to continue every summer. Kim Mo-gyun, Arirang News.
Well, those are the stories we have for you at this hour. For more of the latest, don't forget to check out the website arirang.com/news. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Goodbye.